and welcome back to the Irish Hunting Podcast, the number one place for your hunting, fishing and country sports stories from around the world. Stick on the kettle, crack open a beer, pull up the feet, relax and enjoy. Hello and welcome back to episode number 99, Clays and Crows. On this week's episode, myself and Rob chat about a recent clay competition, the Founders Memorial Cup, that we ran in Lakeland Shooting Centre. We also travel out to a farmer to do some crop protection. Enjoy this one, folks. Roberto.
Anthony.
Are you missing me? Go on, yeah.
I need you to come back. This is no fun without you. And can I say, you're a lovely shade of mahogany there.
Well, you're mahogany, man. I'm teak.
You enjoying yourself?
I am, man. I'm glad to be home on Irish soil. I had a little bit of a break there to Malaga, with the young lad on the soccer trip, and but you know me now. I'm creature of comfort, and I'm not exactly the most sociable creature in the world, so it's completely out of my comfort zone. So I'm happy to be home on good old Irish soil.
Same as myself. I wouldn't like to mix too much, so I understand where you're coming from. I was talking to you when you were over there. Now you seemed happy enough the night I was talking to you. Did you have a couple of fizzy pops?
I could have had maybe a Fanta or something. I don't know that night. I was I was, look, it was, the weather was like 35, 36 degrees. I was with my young lad, all happy out. Probably there's loads of people I don't know. I love chatting to, say if I get to meet a person that's that I know and has similar interests, but loads of people don't have similar interests to us. So that's where I kind of get a little bit probably social anxiety. So I went to the bar, the pubs. I tend to just like kind of nestle down into the corner on my own. And loads of people would be saying to me, "Oh, come on and join us, and don't be there on your own." But I'm
no.
Similar to yourself. I'm quite happy in the corner. I was like, there was a. I'll give you an example, right? There was a team meeting, and so I go right back. This is a force of habit. Right back to the bottom of the class, right to the back, and sit in the seats right at the back. So that's from my formative days in school, and that I'm happier.
You were allowed into the class, were you?
Why you aren't, Robert? There's a surprise. There's a surprise.
It's like that meme. Do you ever see the memes where there's someone at a family function? Do you hunt? No, we're grand. And then he just doesn't talk.
It was kind of, now in fairness, there was a lot of people who were kind of interested in it. I think I don't know whether I told you or not, but this is probably one of the things where the reach of the podcast, which we wouldn't normally appreciate, but one of the coaches, a big shout out to Garrett, and actually he has asked me to give a shout out to his buddy, who I don't actually know his name yet, but I am finding out.
Right.
I was messaging about something completely different. It was actually just a sponsorship thing, which we're both trying to push, and we're back and forward a little bit. And he obviously played out a voicemail or a voice message from me, and then he rang me. He said, "You won't believe this. I played that message out loud in my office," and he obviously works up in town somewhere, like completely random. And somebody said, "Play that message again there. Who was that?" And he said, he looked over and said, like, "Oh, Jesus, I'm after making a," and he said, "It's a guy I know from Enfield. I know that voice. Play it again." So he played a little bit of it again, and he says, "That's your man from the podcast, the Irish Hunting Podcast. I listen to him all the time." So there you go.
You did actually tell me that, and it is mad. You don't fully grasp the reach that it has. I actually seen it's 93 countries. Yeah, I think it's in now. That's nearly half of the world's countries. I looked it up. I had to Google it.
Yeah.
I had something similar where two lads in work, after the Predator challenge, you put up the clip of, um, I shot like a dickhead. I was walking into the mess and someone goes, I heard you shot like a dickhead.
It's really strange, man. Like and
Uh,
like for you said there, then you have the countries in the world. That's quite a lot for two people who weren't great at maths. To be have the countries in the world. But yeah, no, it's freakish at times. That's and because it's very very niche, obviously, but nonetheless, um, I think the cool thing about it is, um, the most random of conversations you'll get involved, and people kind of still are interested. Like, why would you hunt? Why did you like? So there is still an underlying current of interest, even though, what would you say, the populist majority would be, oh, hunting, that's for back in the dark ages kind of thing. But
nah,
there's still there's
still,
still
uh, how can I explain it? We're not talking about this, but recently I went fishing with a group of lads who didn't know each other. Yeah.
yeah.
It it would take probably a year of them like meeting on and off to get them as close as they are now. After one day doing something, I won't say primal, but it's weird. Hunting and fishing brings out something different. No, I won't say just in lads, maybe lads and girls, but it bonds you really, really quickly.
Without a doubt, dude. I think you hit the nail on the head. I like, obviously we can only speak for the male contingent, and maybe it's the same for the females. And we know there's some really, really uh, what was it, top level female hunters and fisher women out there. But we can only speak for the males because that's our perspective. But definitely, I definitely think I was writing actually. I sent it to you today, but a little bit of a bio. We're actually working on our website as well. Both of us are head down, ass up, trying to get a few bits pulled together. And I was going through that kind of bit of text as like how we met, and I remember, like, the things that kind of, what would you say, intertwine you, and I definitely believe hunting is fundamental to that. It's one of the links that we say it all the time. It's kind of to a time gone by, and I think it's once you've done it, you have this kind of, I think it's a link to the past. It's a link to who you really are, if that makes fucking sense. I know I'm not trying to be, um, but one of the young lads came in here today. There's a friend down with Lee, and I have a big lump of venison on the barbecue at the minute. And I said to him, "Do you ever have venison?" No, no, no. But he's mad to try it. So even like the excitement of trying a food that he's not accustomed to or exposed to. And then he said, "Do you like hunting?" And I said, "I love hunting. I make no excuse about it." And he said, "Why do you like hunting?" And I said, "Dan, I can't explain it. All I can explain to you is that I would encourage every person to try it just once. Um,
Try your best to get him out. Like I have a nephew coming back in August, and I'm going to try my best to get him out. And I
yeah,
know once I get him out, that's it. Well, I don't know for definite, but there's a high possibility that he'll be into it.
without I look, I think there's a better chance than not. I'll put it that way. I think for definite, if you're saying to lads that they're not going to like it, you have probably a better chance of saying that they will than not. I think it's ingrained in us. It's something that's we know naturally how to do, but we just have to be reminded every now and again. Probably me more so than most, as to how we go about doing it.
But
But yeah,
do you not do you not remember the time we said, we'll bring a new lad out? Friend of mine,
yeah,
yeah, brought
yeah,
him out very first morning. Now, listen, there's going to be a bit of stalking, there's going to be a bit of hardship, bit of crawl. We stepped into the very first field. There's a deer looking at us,
yeah,
and he pulled off the shot, and deer went down. And he was like, "Sure, this is easy." No, it's not
mm,
always like this. You,
yeah, yeah. And
but
he's
he
looking
loved
at us
it.
saying, "These two lads are bluffing, man. This is an easy gig. I've gone through. I've done the license and the H cap and all that kind of stuff, and everyone's telling me how hard this is going to be. And then I go out with you as pair, and you just like walk I'd say it was about 50, 60 yards, man, into that field, over the brow of the hill. The next thing,
Uh,
here's
and
a standing,
I've never seen a deer there
Never,
ever.
never before, and never
No,
since. Never
no,
since. But
Johnny bastard.
yeah, but like, is not the thing. What was beginner's luck and all that kind of thing, and greatly so. But he's been mad to come back out again since, so, and that just
Yeah,
proves, you know.
he
Um,
wants to come out the first week of the season.
Now we gave him a little bit of hardship. We met him, and he was a little bit squeamish in the grolic, and but we made him carry it back or drag it back down.
Yeah.
I was thinking we probably should have met him drag that up the hill a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Just come here.
Uh,
How have you been?
yeah, I'm all good.
Yeah,
Busy. Yeah,
yeah.
busy.
I
Like
know.
just as we're talking, I'm getting texts in there from the bold Sean Tyrrell. He's getting a new Labrador pup, so he's
Yes.
looking for uh, tips and tricks. Now, I am no man to give tips or tricks about dogs. There's plenty of other lads that he could go to and learn proper. But there are a few people after writing in
They are.
looking for. They were saying that the videos were too. What would you say? Grand, not grand, but like too up there. They want something down at the basic levels of how you
Advanced.
actually build
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might look at doing something like that, like how you get the dog to sit and then build it onto the whistle and all that sort of jazz. But
And like that, Robert, I think, you see, this is the thing. This is one of the things where, like, this is not obviously our day to day, but and I take it for granted. Me and you to be talking, like, obviously every day, and I like that we'd be talking. Oh, what you do with the dog today, and what we should be doing with the dog tomorrow, and all that kind of stuff, and forgetting that other people aren't involved in conversations. So we'd be skipping to probably, step 3 and then to step 7. So and then thinking that, sure, like everyone knows, we've been talking about this, and I like what you said there. Probably we take that. Well, I definitely take it for granted that I have access to the likes of yourself and so on, and other people in this community who give us advice and tips and stuff like that. So definitely, I think that's brilliant. And Shawnee, that's a beautiful little pup he has.
yeah, it's really nice, isn't it? Now, like you said, I'm really grateful. If I'm being honest to the lads right now, you're better off going and getting someone who's actually really good at this. There's plenty of lads there that are trialing and could teach you from the ground up. The problem is, will they teach you? Because they're so busy with their own dogs.
Yeah.
But if you can get in with them, get in with them. If you want to listen to us two Ginny Joes, listen away. No problem.
Look, I would say, like, I definitely look. I've started. I had probably minimal interest in dog training until probably I went to the trials with you a couple, and you were at me and at me and at me to go to one of them, and I said I have really no interest in that. You know what I mean? I just want a dog just to put up a board and I can have an little pop at it or miss. Not knowing the ins and outs, and then I went to that, and that kind of built me interest, and then I started to ask you like a lot more questions, and I thought I knew what a good dog was. And now I definitely know what a bad dog is, which is what I've always probably had. And
just
I'm being a bad handler as well.
Yeah, but just on that, right? Trialing, from my perspective, and probably you'll
Yeah.
agree, trialing and rough shooting, two completely different skills. And what they're looking from the dog are two completely different things.
Yeah.
So the trialer man wants a dog in real close, full control. If I tell him to go to that bush because I know best, the wind is this side, I know that more than likely there's game in there. The dog can't pick up this. Where the rough shooter wants to go out and let the dog out a little bit more, walk behind it, whatever direction the dog is going, and then shoot.
Yeah.
So, like, they're two completely different skill sets. And I understand people writing in frustrated. No, you're doing this, you're doing two completely different things.
Without a doubt, and this is where I suppose the basics are probably, the fundamentals are probably the same in both disciplines until they start to diverge, and then like similar to what you were saying there, right? I look at, like, we're on loads of dog forums and stuff like that, and you'd hear them. I want dogs to be beaten cover like mad, whereas I am I right in saying this? Well, this is my opinion on it, so I'm going to give it. You can correct me or give yours. I want a dog I want to be able to trust my dog, knowing that I don't need him to beat every inch of ground. I want him or her to be able to work that ground and work the wind and be clever enough to cover without having to wear herself out within the first fucking 45 minutes. Would that be fair?
So, right. So this is where the two differ. That
Yep.
is a rough man shooting.
Yep.
Yes, that is the skill and what you do. A
Yep.
trial man wants to click his dog off, cover the ground properly in his arc from gun to gun.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
every inch of that ground. It doesn't have to go for 2 or 3 hours. It might have to go for fucking 5 minutes to 25 minutes at
Yep.
full tilt till it finds, sits, flushes, retrieves, and he might have to do that once, maybe twice, before he's into the next part of the competition. So completely different. Uh, some of the things transferred over, like the steadiness of the dog, all of that, but letting the dog out, not beating every piece of the cover. For instance, if you pass a bird, you'll probably never know if you passed a bird. Where if
Yep.
a bird passes someone in a trial, that's it, they're out, they're gone.
They're
Put your lead
gone.
on your dog, get, and they could have drove the far end of the country, and now they're 5 minutes in, get your lead on and head on home.
I
So they're
don't know.
two completely different skill sets.
Yeah, and like I remember you saying I'd Millie out probably in the first year, and like that it was not too long after the trial, you know. So, and this is from an inexperienced dog handler, like me. I was kind of, I was getting a little bit like, why isn't she, what I mean, beating like mad? She wasn't as busy as I'd seen the other dogs. And you were saying, relax, she's doing fine. No, and then you seen her kind of working the wind. She was doing her thing, being she was being clever about it. She didn't have to jump into every fucking briar and bush, because if she did, we'd be finished, as you said, packing up within the first hour, and then the rest of the 4, 5, 6 hours that we're out hunting, you're walking on your own. So,
Yeah,
um, it's completely different, as you say, different discipline.
yeah. Now I don't know how we're after going onto this tangent because we're actually supposed to be talking about
Yes,
a day crow shooting
and
and the clay shoot that we had. Yeah, now
yes,
we have lots of other things to talk about, but that'll be part two because we won't have enough time. And you have a big lump of venison on the barbecue.
I do, I do, I do. But Avril is in control of that now, man. Because like this is, child's play now at this stage. We've got that down. But so the man who's just about to be burnt venison. Sorry, Av. Um, but yeah, we're going to start with the clay shoot, I think. So we're going to track back, and we mentioned Sean Tyrrell there, and I wanted to just give a little quick shout out to Shawnee because um, Shawnee's a great little shot man. And we talked off air about this the other day. Because Shawnee was messaging you about, and he sent me a message of the lab, and I said we were that busy with just going around and trying to keep score and mingle and stuff like that on the day, but he had a cracking little score, and was right up there with the very best on the day. So, as there was a few nice shots on that day.
Yeah, you had Marco,
Yeah.
Dicko, Shawnee Tyrrell, that young lad from. I know, I was very impressed with that young lad
Yes.
from your club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was very good, and he'd never shot clays before.
No, this is actually this is his first year. He's only literally got his license probably a couple of months back. So, a huge well done to Sean Burley, and like that, we had a couple of young shooters on the day, and it's fantastic to see. And that's probably what that's all about, Rob.
100% it is, and even down to Jacko.
Yeah, yeah.
Jacko shot extremely well.
Absolutely, yeah. Even considering the piece of shit he was shooting with, which we convinced him to to trade in on the day. So yeah, I've been at him. It was an excuse. Jack was my brother, obviously, for people who don't know, and he's been shooting now for a couple of years. But he has an old gun that I've been onto him to change for the last couple of seasons. And like myself, he wouldn't be very kind on a gun.
Wouldn't be kind,
Yeah.
man. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have shot that thing. I didn't think that thing was safe.
Yeah, it was like it was an all over brown color. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no, he's a decent shot. And I want to try and get out a couple of times with him this year, hopefully with the dog, and put up a few birds in front of him, and hopefully convince him to get a little pup of his own. But that's
Yeah,
another work.
yeah. And I wouldn't mind the shotgun he got. It's actually nice because he was looking at it. He was looking at a couple, and the first one I picked up that he was looking at, I was like, I don't like that. Just didn't like the feel of it. It was too front heavy.
Correct. Yeah.
And then
Heavy
he
one.
ended up with a Beretta 694, was it?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. He
Really
actually
nice.
yes, it's lovely sporting gun. He actually has it now. I had it in my hands the
Nice.
other day, so I changed out the chokes from there, um, and he was absolutely thrilled with it. But
Give him the tightest chokes you can.
yeah, yeah.
You hit
You know,
nothing.
no, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. No, no. We went through it with a fine tooth comb. So he lovely full set of chokes, and like that. Huge thanks to David Dunn down in Lakelands as well, who spent a load of time that afternoon with us going through a few different guns and getting the gun that fitted him the best. So as you know, Dave is he's now maestro when it comes to guns. In fairness to him, and he spent
I said this to you, didn't I? About me
yeah,
rifle. I think I
yeah.
said it to him. I don't think I ever said it on the podcast.
No, you said that day actually we were chatting.
Yeah. So I bought a new scope for the rifle and brought it in. And because of the Blazer mounting system, saddle mount, I wouldn't be too familiar with it. So I said it to David Dunn. Here, is there any chance that you could set that up for me? So I was watching him, and within maybe 5 minutes, he had it all done, and he was just lifting it up and tightening it. And then he handed it to me, and he goes, "What's that for oil relief?" Now, in fairness, the oil relief was spot on. And I said that when I was there, but I walked out of the shop going, and I rang you on the way back.
You did.
Didn't I did, and I said, "This lad did not use a spirit level. He used fucking nothing. So I'm going to have to undo all his work and do it myself."
Yeah.
That was a waste. That was a waste of time. So I got spirit levels, sat down to do it, and that thing was spot on. Like I probably couldn't have done it with the spirit levels. So I don't know how he did it by eye. So fair
Yeah.
play to him.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'd be very harsh giving out
Yeah.
compliments, but he did. So
Yeah, you actually said that to him on the day, and he was there. Ah, sure, I've done one or two, and I yeah, we all know he's done more than just one or two, but no, in fairness to him, um, he spent a good bit of time with Keith there. We tried a couple of different shotguns, and he said I think he kind of knew once he had the first one or two in his hand. He said, "No, I've one here for you," and he comes out with the Beretta. And look, I have a Beretta myself, and as I said to Keith, my one has lasted me this long, considering the tender love and care I give it. That's the gun for you, man. Do you know what I mean? Like that is there.
yeah,
If you oil a couple of times a year, clean her out every now and again, you'll have a gun that'll do you for many's a season. And he's a beautiful. As a matter of fact, dude, it in the words of Pat Brennan, it goes up to the minute I picked that up. I said, Jesus, if I didn't have my own one, it just felt all kinds of comfortable. It's lovely gun to
yeah,
throw up on your shoulder. So
they
um
were night and day. So I was delighted for him. But
absolutely.
was the shoot a success overall?
Yeah, look, going back, I suppose we'll track back. And a huge thanks to yourself as well, man. I know it's you're probably an honorary member of the club at this stage, even though you're not
What do you
in
mean
it.
honorary? I thought I have a hoodie. I have a hoodie. I'm in that club, if they know it or not.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, look, we've well, this is the second year of the Founders Memorial, right? And we wanted to do something to honor the founding members. There's still one or two of them alive, um, which we hope to be able to present the trophy. It's the 50th anniversary next year, so we're hoping to try and do something around that, something cool. But um, the idea was obviously there's a lot of the founding members have unfortunately passed away, men who put huge amount of effort into a lot more than I'm obviously the current chairman, but a lot more than I've done. to get it up and running and to get it to the place where it is now, you know. So a lot of history and tradition, and it was just to honor that. So, and we said at the time to try and do something that wasn't hugely like, you know what I mean. The clay the we didn't want a situation where it was, you know, um, uh, you know, national or regional level kind of clay shooting. It was just somewhere people could go out, have a bit of crack, and shoot a few clays and a bit of slagging. You know, the usual crack. So, and quite quickly, it was a success in that loads of people asked for it to go on again, and it's got bigger this year than it was last year. So that's always a good sign.
I seen that. I seen that with the numbers that turned up, and
Yeah,
if right when we're talking about numbers that turned up, you'd have to give a big shout out to Ross McQuaid. Um, he turned up to support it
absolutely.
again this year, and I think it's great what you're doing, honouring past members, lads who set up the club. So for the 50th one, we're going to have
Yeah,
to pull something big out. Maybe Noel would let us have a barbecue there. Maybe we
maybe
could have a
so, maybe
we could
so.
have a chat with him.
We'll do something kind of cool, because like it's a brilliant setup down there. And as you rightly said, the Big Easy, fair play to him, like, and he gave us a dig out in terms of marking cards. We got our we decided to run our round off first so that we could then split up and be marking the other cards. So myself, yourself, Shauno, Ross, and
There you go.
Dicko. Dicko. Um,
Is that it?
yeah, we shot first, didn't we? Yeah, yeah,
Marco wasn't shooting on that one, but he was there.
yeah. Marco and Massimo. In fairness, they came a little bit early, and they shut off early.
I'm talking about Marky.
Oh, Marky. No,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Marky he shot in the second
yeah,
round.
yeah. But he was with us marking cards and stuff.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
Apologies. Um, fucking. You're going to get me in trouble for that now. We could have glanced over that now, but you're after highlighting it, so he's going to be straight onto me now after this podcast. Now,
And here, he didn't shoot too bad. Is he buying a gun?
yeah, he didn't. He shot very well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's absolutely he's in talks there at the minute. So
Okay.
yeah, no, he's a decent little shot as Marky.
We have to get him out more. He's a nice fella. See the way I turned that around? I highlighted you and then I brought it back. Now I'm highlighting you again.
Exactly. Get me over a hole. No, easy. And Mark is a long time friend of mine. He goes back to our youth, where we had Manny's. Actually, Marky is one of the men who introduced me to my darling wife. So there you go.
Did he?
Many years ago. Yeah, he did. He was my wingman at the time. Thank.
He's a nice fella. We may get him out more. He might come out there shooting this year, would he?
He would, and he loves fox shooting. I brought him out a couple of times fox shooting. So he's been on to me many's time now. But sure, trying to get you out fox shooting is like trying to get
I
the pub.
don't. If I can't eat it or mount it, I don't want it. Now I understand the benefits of doing it, but I'm actually not in a game. I'm actually in the army game club, but there's no foxes around there. But I understand why other game clubs do it. I
Yeah,
will go out with you more. I
yeah.
will.
We've reasons, and now we've a few vermin competitions we're going to be running, so you'll have to. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like that.
I'll make it better out of it, buddy.
You're doing all right, man. You're doing all right. We got four in the last time. We're grand. That's good numbers for me. Uh, but, yeah, so we ran off our round fairly quick. You actually shot very well. I was actually, you hadn't been shooting great up to that, to be honest with
I
you.
wasn't. I wasn't shooting. To be honest, I wasn't shooting great there either. Like even Dicko, and like when I was shooting clays hard, Dicko would have been shooting with me.
Yeah,
And he even said at the end, "Man, you weren't shooting great there." He was only, I think, one behind me, two behind me, something like he was right there. Where before when I but see, this is the thing, right? When I was shooting clays, buddy, I was shooting them minimum once a week, if not twice or three times a week. And then all of a sudden, I'm shooting them
yeah,
once every 3 months.
yeah.
Like, how often do me and you go shooting clays?
Well, that was probably my first time since the last time, you know. So
So, do you know,
yeah,
I might have went. 4 or 5 times in a year. So you
Yeah.
can't be great at something if you're not doing it all the time. So I shot all right, not wonderful. I need more practice.
No, but like that, I was leading up to that. Myself and yourself had shot once or twice in the couple of months previous, and you were shooting by your standards.
Not great.
Yeah, poor now, poor. Would be the um.
All right, take it easy.
We're honest, man. We're honest.
Look, we're off brand.
Like you shot respectable at the competition, which was
You
good.
thought
You
you
know.
had me, did you? You
Yeah.
thought you could take me.
I was now. I was close on. I was close on until I fucked up on the. I think on the second last stand, which was, and I had like I wouldn't mind. I looked over old shotcam footage of that particular stand, a month or so previous, and I think I was hitting 5 out of 5 on both sides, and I missed 5 out of 5 on both stands.
I know.
Complete just capitulation and lack of concentration, I think, on the first couple. And then that just led to I'm like a golf.
Panic.
If I overhit in the first one, I'll underhit in the next one. And that's I was given I just lack of concentration in the first one or two, and then just completely over accentuated on the shots on both sides then. So but
I,
look,
I'm going to be honest. So I wasn't keeping any sort of scores. I was having the crack. But when we were adding up at the end and I seen your score, I was like, no. Someone double check that because that's not right. Because
yeah.
I was watching you, when you have a feel of how someone's shooting, I thought, oh no, he's
Mm.
right on me. So I don't know what happened. I
I
know
sh-
you had a one bad stand, and one bad stand is all it needs to fuck you up. And I could have led into that because I was trying my best to fuck you up. I was even saying, Jesus,
I
you're
know.
shooting well. One stand now could mess you up. I must have said that three
Yeah,
times to
yeah.
you.
We were actually messing on the first couple, which were actually the harder stands, on the open stands out the back, and they were and there's one or two of them which are historically my kryptonite. You know what I mean? The ones that are, the ones that are coming
Long
toward me.
crossers.
Yeah, exactly, and
Yeah.
like that. Um, there was one in particular as well. There was a black clay that came from right to left, flat.
Sideways.
Yes, yeah, and you
Yeah.
don't right until it's on top of you. And my eyesight is not wonderful, as you know as well. So, but like that, and of course, there was a couple of, but I actually shot like for me reasonably well on them stands. As I say, it was just the easy stand actually let me down. Which, look, that's grand. It's clay shooting. Um, but yeah, and then the lads quickly followed in, and then we all started to mark cards, and like that, as I said to you, some really good shooting on the day. There
Really,
was,
really good. I was
yeah,
actually very surprised. Big. I'm not sure if the boys have been practicing, but there was a big up level of skill compared to the first year.
correct,
Across your dad, I was like a couple of lads that shot last year. I was watching this year, going, "Oh Jesus, Dylan!" Like,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah,
Still,
there was a couple of them, and not only on that, I'd say Niall made a couple of euro there on us because a couple of the boys bought stuff when they went in.
they did, yeah. In
Yeah,
fact, like for anyone who hasn't been in Lakelands, it's like you walk in and of course the lads when we were shooting off ours, the lads that come in and won around and they were coming out. Do you see the shotguns hanging up there? The obviously there's some premium guns, but like that, yeah, there was some nice gear in there. In fairness, it's
he has it well stocked. Like, there's
yeah,
very few gun shops that have it. I'm not even talking about firearms well stocked. He has that, but even down to, let's say, firearm upkeep, oils and greases, like
yeah,
everything. The place is wedged with gear. Where you go into uh, other shops where you go, here, have you got this? No, we'll have it in 2 weeks. That's that's not. I'm looking like I'm a now sort of guy. I need this thing now. I'm very impulsive. Where Niall has that there.
absolutely. And I think the quality of the stuff, man, is,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's second to none. I know. Look at I, I've shopped in the bargain basement for many's a year as many's a hunter, and sometimes you have to buy 3 times to but like that, like me and you were talking actually just before air. There's a few bits and pieces we have our eye on that we need to get for the upcoming season. But some of the gear is really really top notch, man. Really top notch.
Top notch. And so I spent years buying not the cheaper gear, but the more affordable gear because it's the only thing I had money for at the time.
Yep, yep,
And I've done that for, I won't say through my whole life, but even in dishwashers and washing machines. But you get what you pay for. For instance, if I go out and buy a Miele dishwasher, that's going to last me 20 years. Where if I buy something more €200, that might last me 2 years. So
yeah,
I've changed my mindset as I got older that I'll buy once, cry once. That's why I
yeah,
went
yeah.
for a more expensive gun this time round.
And it makes a more expensive dishwasher and washing machine. And that's really what's grating on your nerves there now, Robert, isn't it? Because
It
that's
is a little bit. Yeah. I told you the dogs. No, so the two dogs ate me, little fuckers. They ate me washing machine and tumble dryer. They were let into the laundry room, and I left them in there because the weather was really warm. And yeah, they ate the inside seals. And
and your jacket. The
which jacket? Because they ate me Helly Hansen jacket.
Hanson, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's something.
yeah, yeah. They took
And,
that off the line and ate that. So
and the lead
anyone
of
who wants,
like, I mean, man, like, I'm going to rephrase, Shawnee, if you're listening, man, if you're looking for these motherfuckers have his washing machine, his dishwasher, or his washing machine, his dryer, his
me
barbecue,
good jacket.
fucking Helly Hansen
Oh,
jacket.
me barbecue. The wires on me good barbecue. Look, no one
Yeah,
take advice off me.
yeah, yeah. Look,
Uh,
in fairness, today, and then we headed back then. So we'll talk a little bit about the score. So like Ross and yourself and Dicko were kind of neck and neck up at the top of the
yeah,
queue.
yeah,
Massimo and Marco again up there as well.
yeah,
So that was the kind of the lead in the overalls. And then there was Cullen Healy, who I was delighted for. Cullen's one of the younger members in our club, and this was his first year clay shooting. Um, and he was there with his dad, Pat, and Cullen outshot me on the day and the rest of the club. I think I was second. I think Jacko was third. And there was a couple in around that as well, very, very close up near there. But I was absolutely thrilled for Cullen because, like that's what the competition was for. It wasn't for for lads to come in and be blasting or it's to keep it competitive and so on and encourage the next generation and like that. Cullen's a great lad, a big lad, plenty of horsepower there. Like Dylan and as well, similar to plays a bit of rugby and so on. But yeah, he was delighted, and so was Pat. So huge congratulations to the Healy family. He's the second name on the cup, and he'll be there forevermore. And in many years to come, please God, that lineage will continue on.
yeah. And I was like that from an outsider looking in. I was thrilled for that young lad and his
Yeah,
father because his father shot very well, but his son just pipped him, and you could see that the father, when you were announcing who won, you could see the pride in the dad. So look, I think you're doing brilliant things with the club.
thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much.
No
And
problem.
we all headed back to Roaches,
And then it
and
went downhill.
it went, yeah, it went somewhere. Um, the grub first and foremost was phenomenal. I thought was savage, um, and
Well,
the I had
the
actually
grub
had a
was.
pint of Coors. You came in just after, and you bought me a pint of Guinness, and I was like, oh geez, I have to drink it.
Are you there? Oh, you're gone. Now you're back.
What's that, buddy?
Sorry,
I'm
you
here.
cut out there for a second.
Yeah,
Go on. You had to drink Guinness.
yeah. The grub, but I had to drink Guinness then, but the grub was savage, wasn't it?
Ah, it really was. I think they did the cocktail sausages in some sort of sweet chili sauce. Who organised that grub? Was it Jacko?
Jacko. Yeah,
Fair play to
Jack.
him.
Yeah, he did the food on the day, and in fairness to him, and yeah, like that. And a huge. I just wanted to say just before you're after prompting me there as well. A huge shout out to all the sponsors on the day. Like we'd phenomenal support from both local and surrounding businesses, which helped immensely because obviously as part of we try and raise a few bob for the club, and we also try and raise a few bob for we try and incorporate a charity. And this year it was Little Blue Heroes. So yeah,
And,
thanks to everyone
and
who supported.
why did you go with that one, buddy?
It was just I think last year we did muscle dystrophy. Again, it was that was a friend of ours who is young and has muscle dystrophy, and this year it was I was chatting to and we raised a few bob as we do every year for cancer, which is obviously a very worthwhile cause. And um, but my sister actually, who's a guard, um, was chatting to one of my other sisters, and she was saying, "Do you know it's brilliant?" One of the her colleagues was involved in um, Little Blue Heroes. I'd never heard of it before, but it's for kids with end of life and serious illness. Um, and they raise a few bob, and they make a big deal about the kids, and they bring them out, and you know sometimes when the kids are able and that they put the blue cap on them and so on, and give them a bit of a spin in the car and stuff, and they organize events and trips and stuff for kids
Yeah.
who wouldn't have access to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the only reason I asked is I never heard about it either. And then I actually did a little bit of looking into it, and it's a great cause.
Oh,
And what the club and what you're doing every year, giving back to charity, it's phenomenal because there's not many uh, groups that do that on an annual basis. So long may
yeah.
it last.
Yeah, look, and that's, I suppose, look, isn't that what it's all about, dude? I think gun clubs around the country probably don't get enough a spotlight for this type of stuff. There's local barbecues and poker tournaments and all that kind of stuff that are being run around the country, and they're all giving a few bob towards worthy causes and stuff.
Yeah,
We're lucky enough in that, we're involved in the local club, and we're also able to highlight on social media and stuff. Um, but like that, if anyone else has, fundraisers and stuff, send them in. We've no issue sharing them because that's what we want to do. Try and shine a spotlight onto what the clubs do, and like that. Our event, and again, man, you were hugely involved in that. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible. Um, but we managed to raise 1,500 quid for the charity, and we were able to present a check to Mo from Portlaoise. She came down actually in the squad car, and um, thankfully for the first time in my life when I seen a squad car coming into my drive,
you weren't running.
I wasn't. Yeah, but so, yeah, it was a brilliant occasion, and it was a proud moment to be able to do it on behalf of the great work that's done in the background. So yeah, it
Yeah,
was. We ended up. You left kind of early doors,
yeah.
but it went on. Well, early doors was, I probably the following morning I would have been slightly envious that you left at the time you left.
I got out when the time was right, buddy.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
you were kind of mooching, and you would have stayed around for another one or two, I'd say.
I would have stayed, but she knew by me that I
Yeah.
was starting to get the goo, and she knew she had to move me then. So I was glad I brought herself. And she was delighted because Sean got a little presentation, and thanks a million.
Ah, no.
Because that made his day. And that's what keeps youngsters interested. That's why he wanted to go back this year, because last year he got a cup and a cap. And he wears that cap the whole time.
He
So
does. He does. I
he
can.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I
no,
probably
go on.
that I think I actually showed up into the school that day, right, unannounced, and he didn't know I was coming, and he was wearing that cap, and I probably didn't think about the importance of that until that day. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's that you do things like that, and I think from that, just to give you an example, Ryan, who who looks up immensely to Sean. He's a year behind Sean, or thereabouts. But would be looking at him and kind of, so he's looking at, oh geez, what's Sean doing, and so on and so forth. And now he's talking about, oh Dad, can I have a shot at the gun? Can I? So it's like that. It's like you start the snowball down the mountain, and then it becomes, it gets bigger and bigger, and that's you don't
Yeah.
realize that the impact of that. If you get one person, one young lad involved, it has a knock on, and that's what it's all about.
So just to give the context to anyone who doesn't know, Anto's club does conservation work and raises pheasants. So when he says he was in Sean's school, they were um, getting the kids to raise the pheasants, so incubate the eggs and bring them all the way forward. And when Anto turned up to show the kids how to do it all unannounced, Sean actually had the Anto's gun club cap on just by chance, because he had no idea. I had no idea you were turning up that day. So like, he really does cherish it. And you know where he is right now?
Go on.
He's out pigeon shooting with his granddad.
Ah, Jesus, yeah.
Because remember I sent you a message to farmers that saying this,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there's a problem. I drove by and I was just talking to Jimmy, and that's his granddad. And as I drove by the field, I pulled over, and there was just crows and pigeons hopping off, knocking over huge portions of crop.
Oh,
And I
no,
said, "Right, Jim, you need to go now." And so he goes, "Right, are you coming?" I said, "I can't. I have to do a podcast with my favorite friend in the whole world, Anthony."
I love
So
his
I
man.
couldn't go. So the two lads, Sean and his granddad, are gone up there to help out a farmer. So that's where they are. So we see how it grows. He wasn't
Yeah.
that big into shooting. Next minute, we brought him out once or twice, clay competition, introducing the pheasants, how they're reared, crop protection. All of a sudden, you have a young lad who's into the same lifestyle as us.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the benefit of it, man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Now, we did a bit of crop protection ourselves.
we did surely, and we
We
had
did.
one of them days. Again, is to put a context here, right? Whenever I say, "Oh, we have to go down to this place," it just you normally that little laugh there. That's probably sums it up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've heard this, and sometimes it doesn't. And then very rarely it doesn't work out, right? But because I did the last day, I brought you the spot that it was okay, but it wasn't great. But this was a humdinger, man. This was a humdinger.
I'll give you one thing. You've said to me now a couple of times, this spot, this has it. And I've often turned up and went, nah, fucking this spot. I might as well be sitting out in my backyard. And you always produce. That's trout fishing, deer shooting, and pigeon and crows. In fairness to you, you do.
Now, like I don't. I love you're giving me a big head, man. But it's something that you know what I mean. It's ingrained in me. I go back to the ancestry. It's somewhere in the bloodline. I just don't know
Yeah.
where.
I'd say you were down earlier that day and you licked the
We
dew
had
on the
a
grass,
mad.
and you knew. You just knew they'll be coming from the west in their
Yeah,
hundreds. Go on, talk us through it. What was the
and they
story?
and literally, and I was having. We set up. So there was a couple of fields behind my house. There was long grass, and I've been waiting because I've been seeing them coming in, and I was saying, right, that's the spot. There's a fucking old trailer that's been overturned, rusted to bits in one of the corners of the fields, and like that, um, I said that is the spot. So we set up a little bit of a hide, just around that trailer actually, and we just sat there, and we didn't have to
Yeah.
do much other than sit there. You did a little bit of calling with your lovely mouth call, just before anyone says it's a they might actually think that's a digital call, man.
That's it.
That's it. There you go. There you
There
go.
you
So if
go.
anyone wants to record that or screen,
I should actually,
you'll have droves of
just patent pending on that. You owe me a fiver every time you use that.
brace yourself, man. Brace yourself. But yeah, and literally, man, they just started fucking piling on us, didn't they?
No, they did, yeah. And I'll give you, you were shooting very well. You were on fire, in fairness to you.
Now, here's the thing, right? I was
Yeah.
shooting with seven halves, right? I can't remember. And because it was actually out Lakelands that I got them. What was the brand?
Oh,
I can't
I can
remember,
actually,
but
I can
I'm gonna.
here. While you're there, right, I can actually walk in and find out the brand for you. Right, so you were shooting seven and a halves, and I was shooting sixes of the same. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No, oh wait, I do have them. They're J and G.
J
That's
and
what they're
G.
called. J and
Yes,
G. They're brand new into Lakelands, and I was shooting the sixes. You were shooting the seven and a halves, and the seven and a halves seem to be working better.
they were because I had brought out half a box, and so did you of the sixes, and I think halfway through, I think I started shooting sixes, and I was shooting shite. Um, but I thought the seven halves just obviously give it a nicer spread, but um, you were kind of uh, you were probably not believing me essentially. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the word, but I think you switched over to seven halves, and you said, "Oh, they're actually shooting very well."
Yeah. So, how many? I ran out of sixes, and you gave me some of your seven and a halves, I think,
Yeah,
or I had some seven. I can't remember, but I started shooting seven and a halves, and there was very few things getting away. Um,
yeah,
where I would be of the belief when shooting game, I would go like five fives, 34 gram fives, because there's no such thing as too dead when you're shooting game. I don't want to injure it, but
yeah,
that that mightn't be suiting my gun in terms of pattern. And some of the stuff I'm shooting at, like partridge, they don't need a five.
no,
Like a seven is perfect for them. So you're actually after changing my mind there on, and you're not the first one to say that. In fairness, Ronan Gorman and I think Pat Brennan said it to me as well. Would you not drop down shot size? Because the more pellets you put on the animal, the more kinetic energy combined, you would take it down.
yeah, and that goes back. Years and years ago, Mark Lynn would have been saying to me, like I would have been similar to yourself. I think I would have started shooting a fight with fives, and you would have always said to me fives. But when I go in, I go for, say, for first November, it'd be 32 gram sixes, um,
Yeah.
and but I would be definitely, I'd be definitely interested to try it this season. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to make up my mind until I try it. But um, yeah, just probably drop the shot size from definitely. I was experimenting last year between fives and sixes. I'm definitely in the six category, and yeah, look, it's and I know lads have all kinds of different theories. You'll get them on the from fives right up to seven. So um,
Look, we could start this debate about shot size or bullet, like cartridge size, and sure, you could go on all day. But I did notice
yeah.
a significant difference. Now it's probably the pattern spread or the density of the pattern that was taking them down more, but I did notice a difference. So I'll give it a
Yeah.
shot. I might go me bottom barrel seven and a half, me top barrel six or five. Do you know?
Here's a question for you. Bottom
Go on.
barrel first or top barrel first?
Um, Traditionally in fixed strokes guns, it is the bottom barrel is the looser barrel
Yeah.
in fixed strokes guns, right? But um, if I'm hide shooting, I like to have my top barrel as the most open barrel because then I don't have to open my gun fully for it to eject. So
Yeah.
uh, essentially, it's completely up to you. If you've uh, what you call a multi choke gun, do whatever you really want. Have the two barrels shooting the same.
Yeah.
Like do whatever you want. But for me, um, if I'm in a hide pigeon shooting, I normally go me top barrel, the looser barrel, just so I don't have to open it fully
Yeah.
and it'll eject.
I would be on and in that group, but I was going to say there because I only need one shot essentially, but I wouldn't. And you're after picking up on that one, but there was some, there was, yeah, there was actually some very good shots that day. It was a particularly good day. There was some lovely, kind of left to right crossers, and they were coming in high and quick. and we were pulling them out of all angles, man. It was just one of them. It was. I think we ended up over 120, 130 birds, correct?
That's what we counted. But you know yourself. You see a leg down, you know,
Yeah,
um, or you hit it hard, but it has traveled into the neck, like it's folded.
yeah.
It's stone dead flying, like not flying. Momentum has carried it into the next field or the hedge. You're just never going to retrieve them birds. But that is the count that we got physically. Um, but well, I love the bit of competition that's there. Like someone will get a further bird. Oh, that's shot of the day, and then someone else will get another. Oh, I'm in. You ain't beating that. It's just great crack.
It is. It's brilliant because like it starts off kind of you kind of let them come in. You know what I mean? Like that. You know, you kind of let them come in a little bit, and that's grand. And then somebody then pulls out a kind of a whirly shot, and then yeah. And then then you're starting to pick them off a little bit quicker. You know, and you're trying to. It's great. I think it's great practice for it's far better I think than clay shooting in terms of preparation for game birds because you're getting different speed birds. You're getting kind of birds that are coming into land, birds that are kind of coming over you across, and you get the odd pigeon or the grey. The grey is obviously a little bit more. I find the grey is kind of what would you say? They're a little bit more. Uh,
Elusive.
yeah, you know what I mean. They're not coming in as stupidly as the crows. They're a little bit more elusive. So um, they act a little bit more, I think, like game birds, don't they? You know, like as in they'll take off on their merry way quicker. So you have to react a little bit quicker to them. I think they're
I
a little
tell
bit.
you, an old jackdaw, a jackdaw on wind can turn a wing and gone within a split second. They are really hard shooting.
Yeah,
Um, but I would argue that a good day on crows and pigeons could be argued that it's some of the best shooting that you're going to get
it is, man.
for free, not for free, but so you're doing a farmer a service and you're doing what you want to do.
yeah.
Um, but I
And
would argue that it is some of the finest shooting that we have.
yeah, if somebody had to put it like a microphone, and we might just do that. We might have to fucking edit a lot of it, but in the
Put a
hive
microphone in the hood? No, Jesus Christ, no.
because the slagging, it's brilliant. It's great competitive shooting. And it's brilliant. If two people in the hide, like you've great crack. Because if one person misses, then you're yeah, in a nice way. You put a little bit on them. You know what I mean? You can slag them a little bit, and but yeah, it was one of the best days shooting I think I've had in a long time, man.
Yeah.
It was
It'd
brilliant.
lift your mood, wouldn't it?
It would, of course, it would.
Yeah.
And the weather was good. They were coming in heavy. And I looked at that the other day, and they're still coming in there, man. There's a horrendous amount of them there around there. So we might have to do another little day down there.
Yeah, and same up my neck of the woods. So what have we got to look forward to? The deer season's only around the corner.
I just text you today, man. We have to. Well, I have to check zero.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, here's a bit of news here.
go on.
Me uh, gun licenses came in. Never told you.
You didn't.
Fair play to the guards. They put a wriggle on that, and me deer stalking license just approved today. There
Deadly.
you go. So I'm
So
all good to go.
I feel there,
And they're getting my European firearms license sorted with the super, so I'll be good to go for September.
brilliant. So now, quite quickly, man, we have deer season less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
We've the
I
following
can't
week.
wait.
I cannot wait, and I didn't think I was going to be as excited because no, I'm not really excited until it kind of comes September. Yeah, I might fuck. I want to get out. I can't wait. I just can't
Yeah,
wait to get the. It seems like an age, but seems like only yesterday we were out. So, and we have some interesting new spots. So we're we're mad to get going. Mad to get going.
yeah. So we have that. Then we're heading up to Andrew Henderson. Yeah,
What the hotel we're staying in?
I'm not telling people because they'll turn up in their droves.
Oh, Mario, you look sure you're famous now.
I won't tell you the hotel, but it's boxed. So we're going up to Andy. We're lobster potting. This is part of our tour around Ireland, and other lads have reached out, game clubs and barbecues and stuff like that, and we will get around to a couple of them.
Yeah.
Just we're flat to the mat with this thing.
Yeah, it's and quite quickly after that now, dude, we're in Hungary, and in the middle of all that, Tom over in Norfolk has just added, and this is kind of breaking news, but when we're going to do a little bit, it was a message actually after coming through as we're recording here. I just seen it. He's after adding a huge swathe of land with roe deer to his repertoire over Norfolk, and he's one of the. Obviously, we've done a trip over there in January, and we're trying to get a date to get back over to him. So, and he's just after sending me a picture. I'm going to throw it up on the socials there in a short while of a beautiful roe deer. He went up to inspect the new land and obviously got successful quite quickly. So, um,
So however, for anyone who doesn't know, uh, he's after getting two estates to have
yeah,
row on it. So Tom can basically offer you for an hour and a half away and another hour and 20 minutes driving. He can nearly offer you every deer species. Now,
yeah,
actually, he can offer you all six deer species within his location.
yeah,
Very reasonable and a sound fella, like
yeah,
no messing, down to earth chap, which we like.
yeah,
Um, so whoever is interested, I'd reach out to Tom London and tell him we sent you, and he'll look after you. Isn't
absolutely.
that isn't that true?
Man, like he is one of the world's good gentlemen, and I mean that. He's been nothing but absolutely fantastic to us. Um, he's as he says it. He has. If he tells you, yeah, come over here, I'll get you on. He will do his utmost to get you on that animal. He's just a really really cool man. And the lads are fantastic. The guides are just really experienced guides. They're what would you call professional? I think that's just about the way to sum them up.
We said it before, dude. When they say 5 o'clock,
Yeah,
we're not waiting on them. They're actually waiting on us, and we do be well. Some of us do be on time, but do you know what I mean? I've been to other places where you're waiting on guys to turn up. It's not the case with them. They are ready to rock when they say they're ready, and they have great land.
yeah.
Um,
Pet
it'd
peeve
be
is
well worth spin. And then on that topic, the Bow Janus.
yes, a big shout out to Yanis. So St. Hubertus hunting trips, as you probably seen on some of the socials. Yanis is, and this is huge news because like Yanis is one of them, and Ursula, they've literally grown up hunting. So um, yeah, huge shout out to that, to St. Hubertus. They're, like fantastic. They're offering guided hunting trips in Ireland, um, and abroad, South Africa and Hungary. So anyone who doesn't know,
And yeah, and to talk about someone who, while they've grown up hunting, like I've grown up hunting, I I I do love seeing other people hunting and getting into it and all that, but he loves it, doesn't he?
he does, man. Absolutely, he lives it. He lives it. So
Now,
for anyone,
as I'm talking to you, buddy, I'm at the scene Sean and his granddad pulling up. So I'm
brilliant.
gonna have to cut this short.
We're going to be back on with our new, with another podcast in terms of fishing. So, buddy, you enjoy your rest of your evening. I'm going to enjoy my
Thanks, Pat.
barbecue.
Over and out. Enjoy that. Tell Avro I said thanks for cooking the barbecue for you.
You're more than welcome.
Right, go on, talk to
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
All right,
Over.
good luck. Bye, 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 bye.